Tonight, Lexington's many faith communities are being called into action. At a meeting at Consolidated Baptist Church, they called for the support of Lexington's homeless.
And they're using ideas from a national movement called Yes in God's Backyard. WKYT's Jeremy Toms has the details.
What can we do to take care of our neighbors in the community?
It's a question that advocates for the homeless say they've grappled with for decades, especially so since the Safer Kentucky Act's passage.
The face of homelessness has changed in Lexington.
With rising rents and other costs, they've never seen so many families and children without a place to go. The proof can be found in the FCPS McKinney-Vento program, which provides assistance to homeless students.
As of the 7th day of school, we have now identified 289 students that are currently displaced.
So tonight,
we will stand together in love.
Faith leaders look towards the answers to that opening question by forming 3 action committees.
One is a long-term committee looking at affordable housing, looking at land and availability.
The second would look at bringing the national movement, Yes in God's Backyard, to Lexington, using faith community land to create housing.
Parking lots of churches are sanctuaries.
Finally, a third would look at how the general public can serve as community connectors to vital resources.
People from the community who are mentors to help them get from their car or the streets to a home.
It's a multi-pronged approach, which these stakeholders hope will help address the difficult situations facing so many families.
To me, housing is the most basic need. And before a child can go to school and learn and have any opportunity, they need to have their basic needs met.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
And the next step in this process will be for those 3 committees to meet through the month of September. The group will then reconvene on the 26th in an effort to implement some of those action ideas.